We're going to talk about Ickenham Tube Station. Now, Ickenham Tube Station is located in the London borough of Hillingdon. The station is on the Uxbridge branch of both the Metropolitan line and the Piccadilly line. It's between Ruislip and Hillingdon stations. The ghost we're about to talk about first appears in the 1950s. And it's the ghost of a woman who fell onto the track and was electrocuted. She is said to haunt the station. She wears a distinctive red scarf and also invariably appears at the end of a platform, quite close to where it is said she fell to her death. She's also been known to wave to other people on the platform, just as if she's attracting their attention, before she suddenly vanishes before their very eyes. The Jubilee line is one of London's most popular routes. The extension to the Jubilee line, it begins just south of Green Park and terminates at Stratford Station in East London. It was constructed in the 1990s and it opened just before Christmas 1999. Unsurprisingly, the extension carved its way through the grounds of several old monasteries, and this forced the relocation of 683 exhumed graves. Ever since, numerous sightings of phantom monks on this part of the network have been reported. And just like every other line on the London Underground, every mile of the Jubilee line is checked each night by foot. Track-walking patrolmen walk the dark tunnels on their own. One patrolman with over 20 years' experience had a very frightening experience whilst walking the track one night between Baker Street Station and St John's Wood. As he sat down for a break, he suddenly heard and saw heavy footsteps crunching down on the ballast between the railway sleepers. The ballast was being disturbed with every step. It was as if an invisible entity was physically walking down the track with him. As he sat there, with his mouth gaping open in a state of disbelief, the footsteps continued right past where he was sitting, but then stopped about 10 yards further up the tunnel. After he eventually regained his composure, he managed to complete the track walk. In the early hours of the morning, just before the shift came to an end, he told a colleague what had happened to him on the walk. To his surprise, his colleague didn't ridicule or make fun of his account. He didn't call him crazy. On the contrary, his colleague told him that other patrolmen and maintenance workers had experienced the same thing on that part of the Jubilee line. His colleague went on to say that there used to be a patrolman who, prior to his death, used to walk that particular stretch of track on a regular basis, and it was probably his ghost that he had encountered earlier in the night. On a side note, records do show that at least 5 maintenance staff have been tragically killed on that particular stretch of track. Strange occurrences have appeared in the Kennington Loop. A balloon loop is a track arrangement that allows a train to reverse direction and return to where it has come from without the need to shunt it or even in some cases stop. One such balloon loop exists south of Kennington Station on the Northern Line, and it's known as the Kennington Loop. The loop tunnel allows southbound Charing Cross trains to terminate at Kennington Station. Then, when the passengers have been emptied, they run around the loop to begin their return journey north. At least 2 train drivers, sitting alone on their empty trains, waiting for permission to proceed through the loop, have reported hearing eerie, unnerving sounds of the connecting doors between the carriages opening and closing, as if someone was walking through the carriages towards the driving compartment. King's Cross, St Pancras. The tube station is in the London Borough of Camden, and it's the biggest interchange station on the London Underground. It has 6 lines on 4 pairs of tracks. In May 1998, a young woman in her 20s with long brown hair, wearing jeans and a t-shirt, was spotted kneeling at the side of one of the station entry corridors by a passerby. She had her arms outstretched. She seemed to be crying piteously. The passerby stopped and was just about to speak to her to find out what was wrong, maybe to offer some assistance, when someone walking down the corridor from the opposite direction passed straight through the woman without breaking step. The apparition then promptly vanished. It was only then that this Good Samaritan realized that the young lady had been a phantom. Tragically, on the 18th of November 1987, a devastating fire at the station took the lives of 31 people. It's impossible to say whether this apparition is connected to that fire. The King William Street Tunnel is one of the longest and the oldest disused tunnels on the network. It closed in 1900. It stretches from Borough Station to the north side of London Bridge. In the 1980s, a photographer commissioned by London Transport to take pictures for a book the company was bringing out took a series of photograph slides in the old tunnel. And he was surprised to see, on one side of the slides, a slightly translucent image of a man standing near the tunnel wall. He contacted a medium off his own back, and the medium later went to the site where the picture was taken and claimed to have made contact with the spirit of a man who had died breaking up a fight during the tunnel's construction. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed our few stories. If you did enjoy, please comment, like and share, and it would be lovely if you could subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you very, very soon.